Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high level best of 3. Today we have Classic fighting off against Maru over here. My voice sounds surprised because in the GSL replay pack this was tagged as Classic versus Rogue. I was looking forward to a PvZ, but this is actually I didn't know that Maru had to play the GSL qualifier. In my mind, this guy is just always in there. It's like he has like an honorary ticket. Qualifiers are for people that haven't won 6 of them, you know? But alright, Maru versus Classic is what it's going to be today here apparently. Best of 3, as we have Maru opening up with, I think this is just going to be an eBay block. He's actually arriving relatively late. This is going to be here 110-ish or so, 105, 106, 107. Not the fastest eBay block, but an eBay block that will still be basically finished by the time it arrives. Ooh, cool. I haven't actually seen Maru play in a lot of stuff as of late. That is so funny. I just didn't consider at all that Maru might have to actually qualify for a GSL. I feel like that in the past he would just get invited, but I guess that's because in the past he usually always won these tournaments. Okay, Classic here went for a no scout, core before Nexus, blind Zealot start. The reason why he does this is so that if he's being all-in, or if he sees an eBay, maybe he can finish the Zealot if he feels like he'll need to. He's just gonna cancel this Zealot though and build the Nexus here on the 3rd base location. That is interesting. Maru instantly scouts this, and Maru here opened up with gas first, marine into factory, pre-command center. So, Bian, the Shopify Rebellion player, went to the army, I think somewhere in 2020, 2021. And after he came back, the first thing he did was introduce this build order. eBay block, gas first, so that you can get a really quick factory with it. And you have a lot of follow-up options. We've seen just like 2 or 4 Hellion run-bys, swapping the factory on top of that. Sometimes we even get a Reaper with it, so you can bounce Stalkers or Adepts out of the wall. You can run by into the main base. We've seen some Hellion drops as well, so things like a proxy starport with this particular opener is also a possibility. I've seen Cyclone rushes out of this. I've seen like 2 Hellion into Cyclone tank pushes, so there's a lot of options that Maru can go for from here. He is, however, skipping that starport follow-up. He does not have a second gas quite yet, so most likely what I'm feeling here is just either a 4 Hellion or a 2 Hellion. It's going to be a 4 Hellion. The first 2 cars come out. This Adept's going to be in a little bit of trouble. So will this SV block. This SV is dead. He's not in trouble anymore. He ascended to heaven. Next SCV shows up. These Hellions aren't even that damaged. They just got like 1 or 2 hits on them. Gonna have a sentry. Okay, this is cool because I haven't seen this yet. Battery on the low ground. I'm assuming Twilight Council up here. Okay, delay on the blink as well, you see that? He's going 4 units before anything else, and he's going to send his Stalker over towards his natural base to make sure that these Hellions can't deal too much damage. Sentry is just going to hold the ramp over here, but it's going to be 4 Hellions against a single Stalker. And yes, batteries are great, but 4 Hellions absolutely one-shot probe, so this isn't going to be good enough, I don't think so. Okay, good control there on the Stalker, good control on those probes as well, just kind of sliding them through. Still, feels like Classic is just losing a little bit too much. A lot of mining time, a couple of workers going down here as well. The Hellions are still alive, so this threat hasn't ended yet. Hellion 5 and 6 have just showed up. This is an extremely rare opener, and while I thought it was going to be Blink, we're actually transitioning into a Dark Shrine over here. Oh, you could double force field this, but he's just going to go single force field, second force field. Oh, that was too slow. He could have called way more over there. Instead, actually, a lot of these cars are now going to go down at the same time. Classic, not with the greatest control here, is going to lose a couple more workers. Loses 6 workers total. No 3rd base quite yet. Doesn't have the scouting either with this hallucination. Would love to see an energy recharge onto this sentry. To see if we can get some more info out here. Meanwhile, Maru went for 3 Rex follow-up. So a delayed starport. Just working off of double gas, trying to mine as many minerals initially as possible. Now we'll try to run in over here, and this sentry is not in the correct position. This can run by. There we go. No battery in the main base. We're going to get a double Stalker warp in. This is a very big deal. I'd love to see these Stalkers move towards the far left here, by the way, so that you can block the scout on the Dark Shrine. Now he's going to see the Dark Shrine. That's a pretty big deal. So, although this run-in only killed 3 extra workers, I think the real big kicker here is the scout on the dark shrine. Yep, there we go. Turret starts. I wouldn't be surprised to see a turret start in the main base either, like maybe over here, or just in the mineral line, in case there is a robotics facility. Like, you can't be 100% sure here if you're Maru. So I always just love getting that backup, you know? You don't really want to have to deal with any type of DTs in the main, and you don't have any scans available, you don't have any turrets there. Oh. I think he's going to swap... I think he's going to swap onto the tech lab with the starport and then get a Raven out. He doesn't really have the gas for it, though. So he's going to need to wait at least a little bit. First push here. Oh. That Maru is going to do is going to be difficult for Classic to hold. Classic's eco isn't great. His third base is very late. He's working off of 4 gases. Does not have secondary tech yet, though. I guess he has the Dark Shrine, which is what I'd consider a secondary tech structure, but it's a tech structure that doesn't provide splash, or no powerful splash. You could build Archons, but it's not the same as having a Colossus or having Storm. It doesn't have the same zoning abilities against high marine counts. And the first push that Terran does is often with an extremely high marine count. And there's 2 ways to deal with that. Either you're getting a very big Zealot Stalker ball, very heavy on the Zealots, you maybe need to flank a little bit as well, and then you can clear it. And the other way is if you have a slightly smaller army, is to have a more specialized force, and then we're thinking of Storms or Colossus, right? That extra, you know, that splash damage, that AoE damage, deals very well with the Marines that have fairly low HP, extremely low HP. The lowest HP for, for fighting units in the entire game. Right now, Classic really has neither. He doesn't have a high Zealot count, and he doesn't have a big splash AoE. So, although he's trying to stall this push out a little bit, even just a single Colossus without thermal lance is not going to be good enough, because there's 2 tanks out already, and that is just going to be an issue. I love that he's trying to delay this push out by sending in DTs individually, but we're going to get a big SCV pool. This is, I think, the 3rd time now in the GSL that I've seen these big SCV pools. It seems like when things really matter for the Korean Terrans, is the only thing they really care about is pulling the boys and running across the map. Okay, we have 3 sentries out. We have about 5 force fields available to us. He's going to just trickle in individual DTs to try and force scans out. Now we're gonna get a big fat scan over here. Tank in the back is taking quite a bit of damage. 1 tank goes down. This DT stays alive. We're gonna get an aggressive turret with this push, almost as if it's Brute War. There's 3 more DTs on the map. Let's see what this bad boy can do. He's gonna come in. He's gonna get scanned. This turret is about to finish up, and that means that this location is going to be secure. We're leapfrogging forward right now with the turrets, as the SCVs are just staying close towards this left side tank, making sure that it can't die. Good movement here with this DT. How many scans do we still have available? We have none. So these DTs are actually dealing a lot of damage to this army. They're stopping the push out from happening. The secondary force is picking up reinforcements, and Classic is pretty much denying the push forward with these DTs. He's really stalling for an extremely long time here. He's okay with losing this base. He's now gonna move in. I think this might even be a little bit too fast still. Disruptor ain't quite out yet. There is an Archon still building somewhere here on the right side, as the Colossus is dealing a lot of damage. Here comes a Disruptor shot. It's going to clear this tank. No, it won't. Tank stays alive, but just barely. Oh, now it's gonna try to move in, but that was a bad move command as well. Colossus will stay alive. Does not have thermal lance quite yet. 3rd base, or well, yeah, this was the 3rd base actually, it's gonna fall. This is the natural on the 3rd base location. Another Colossus is on the way over here. It's 90 supply to 79. Our gateway count is at 7. So literally every minute that goes by, and we see the income difference is 500-600 minerals. So that's 5 extra zealots over what your opponent is producing. I'd love to see some more reinforcement blasting over here, and that's indeed what Classic is going to be doing. Colossus, however, is left alone and is going to die for free. This pylon is going to get sniped as well. That's the last bit of reinforcements that Classic could actually call in over here. And now, I don't think he has enough. He's going to get another Zealot warp in into the mix. He's going to try to clear this. We also had a Zealot flank from the right side. 3 more Zealots coming in. Do we have energy recharge? Yes, we do. Can he get it going on this sentry? No, he can't. They all get sniped. And I do believe that Maru here is just going to be capable of taking game number 1. As a Classic fan, though, I wouldn't really worry there, because this was one of the worst early games that Classic could have hoped for. Like, 4 gas opener into DT that dealt 0 damage, but his movement after the fact was great. His DT control was phenomenal. The fact that he managed to stall for so long was honestly impressive, and I think if he does 1 or 2 moves different, if he managed to pick off those reinforcements for a bit more with just a Zealot DT army, I think he might have been capable of even winning that game, and that's crazy to think about. We're gonna get another eBay block. Maru has a single trick up his sleeve right now. Or a single ace up his sleeve. But it is an ace every single time. Which is a good thing to have up your sleeve. I don't know a whole lot about poker, but I do know that the ace is the best card. Well, of course, depending on the context, but generally speaking, having the ace in the hand is a good thing. Gonna get a marine out here. Marine into factory. So same exact build order. It's that gas first, marine factory, pre-CC timing, and classic is actually going for the exact same setup as well. I don't know if that is that it necessarily goes into the stalker sentry, stalker stalker stuff, or if he has a different setup. Actually, he was an adept first in the last game. Losing that adept damage output, by the way, is a pretty big deal. Adepts are really strong against Hellions, so having that in the mix is always nice. This is going to be a Stargate play. Look at that. Skipping the Warp Gate over here. Not getting that means it's going to be a Stargate play. This is a more... How should we say? A traditional response? This is a more traditional response. It's going to be a Stargate proxy, or Starport proxy here. Yep, there we go. So Starport proxy. It's going to be a 4 Hellion drop. If you're trying to deal with this without a Stargate, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's rare to see it work. Okay? It's rare to see a Protoss hold. It's very rare to see a Protoss hold. Let's see if we can actually make this happen. This time around, it's going to kill this SCV, or at least try to kill this SCV, shading out. First 2 Hellions are showing up, so you get a bit of a read on that. Maybe you can get us, 2-3 shots onto that Hellion as well. That's a pretty nice deal. Second Adept now shows up as well. Do we have a third Adept too? Yes, we have a third Adept. We even have a fourth. Okay, SCVs are taking quite a beating over here. 2 SCVs are going to go down. I'm not sure what to think of this, though. What do I think of this? Losing 2 Adepts to kill 2 SCVs. It feels nice. It's going to go for a full wall here onto the high ground. Doesn't really help when you can lift over it. We have 2 more Hellions. So the play here is going to be very simple. You drop into the main base and you run by the next 2 Hellions into the third. And that's going to force a split off. Now, you'll need an Oracle and a Phoenix. Why do you need the Phoenix? To attack the Medevac. Without the Phoenix, the Oracle eventually is going to run out of energy and be in a little bit of trouble. So you can just redrop those Hellions again and again and again and again. And here, I'm not sure if you actually want to ignore this Oracle or if you just want to pick up. I think the pickup is really not that bad of a play. So you just go, you shoot, you pick up. You shoot, you pick up. You shoot, you pick up. It's not doing a great job at that. 2 more Hellions are now showing up indeed. That's going to net him a couple of extra kills. The Hellion in the back actually not really fighting. Here comes this bad boy. Can get one more shot in. Can't get the pickup. Doesn't get the pickup over there though. This guy running out is a mistake. Definitely should have been here. Double Marines now moving across the map as well. And although this looked really bad for Classic, and he ended up losing 9 workers. Okay, no, actually this is quite bad for Classic. And he did end up losing 9 workers. Oh. What? Macfield Accelerator for the Cyclones is a move. Fair play to him. It's just not a move we frequently see. Good warp in here, blocking the Hellion from running in. Follow up here, double Adept. Oracle plus Phoenix. No lift on the Phoenix though, means that this Oracle is gonna die. Doesn't really get a whole lot done. Might get a snipe on 1 SCV, which is better than getting 0 SCVs, I guess. Is this just going to be a committed blink attack? We're going to get 3 gateways out. I'm feeling a Nexus as well. I mean, we're floating 550 minerals. So it does feel like Nexus time. It's going to be Blink, Cloak Banshee, Naked Barracks. I think Maru is going for an all-in here. He just doesn't have such a high marine count, right? If you're building... He's also supply block, which is really bad at this moment. If you're... Well, that was a really painful supply block. If you're opening up with reactored Hellions, you just don't have that many marines, especially if you go for 3 rounds of double Hellions. Like, the reactor is not pumping out marines, which it usually would be. Maru's still going to be hitting over here. He's going to be clearing at least a couple of these workers. Macfield Accelerator actually got cancelled. Why? I feel like if you're going 3 Cyclones and this is your plan to go for such a push, you might as well go all the way, no? But he doesn't. And now he's invested a lot in a push that has done absolutely nothing. He's going to be moving back. Lost his first Banshee, by the way. He's flying the starport back home. Did not finish the cloak either. The first Cyclone went down. Second Cyclone falling pretty low. But the Viking is the first one to fall out of the 3 important units still remaining. I actually think Maru's in a little bit of trouble here. It's 6 Stalkers versus 2 Cyclones and 5 Marines. And you can just snipe these Marines and blink back, right? Snipe 1, 2 Marines, or even shoot at a freaking Cyclone and you might be fine. Okay, lock-ons here are good. Keeps all these Stalkers alive. Okay, loses 1 there. Oh, Cyclone goes down. I mean, we get 2-3 more Stalker reinforcements. Classic's going to be in a banging spot here. Production only now really starting up for Maru, who's going into 5 racks. I don't think Maru is really planning on, on building a 3rd CC in this series. Classic in an insane spot right now, though. 60 workers to 45. Has a lot of time still left for himself. Like, the first 2 medevacs aren't going to come out until like a minute and a half from now. Depending on if he swaps. I guess a minute is fine, because he can swap onto the reactor. So, Fort base, absolutely the correct call. Robo Bay, completely fine. 5 extra gates, also fine. Like, there's just a lot of infrastructure being added for Classic, and all of this infrastructure will pay off, except maybe the Fort Nexus. But that's okay, he's in such a good spot right now, he doesn't really need the Fort Nexus. He has the luxury of investing in it. Here comes the Hallucination Scout, is going to see Barracks 4 and 5. Like, this is a major red flag. This actually is a major red flag. He's still adding in more workers. I'm not sure if he's doing that because he thinks he can or because he doesn't realize that these 5 racks, these are Barracks 4 and 5 before the 3rd CC. So we're going to get a scan out of Maru right now. Sees, hey, you have a 3rd base over here. That's interesting. You have an extra gateway coming in. It's an odd location for a gateway, but a location nonetheless. These targets are continuing to kind of trade out. And honestly, at this point, every trade is just a good trade. As long as it's just semi-even, you're going to be absolutely fine as the toss. First 2 medevacs only now... Oh, no, wait, sorry. They're already out. So 8:31, the first 2 medevacs are out. First Colossus has just finished. Thermal Lance is on the way. Now note, there are 0 tanks in this army. So pushing into Colossus without tanks, without Vikings, when there's force fields and a battery, and you're down in supply. Good luck, my dear friend. You're gonna need it. Because this is going to be close to impossible. I think the only play that Maru really has is try to go for a boost into the main base here. Because trying to attack into this, there's legitimately 0 shot that this works. Like 0 shot that this works. He's going to go for the snipe here on the Colossus. Zealot count is still phenomenal. Gets the Colossus, but his entire army has pretty much disappeared at this point. Like, yeah, it's just not viable. It is simply not viable like this. You got a blinking forward as well behind this. Let's not forget, Maru doesn't have a 3rd base. Classic is on 4 bases, on 73 workers. Second Colossus is out and GG gets called. Game 3 is also going to be an eBay block. This time Classic pulled the 4 workers down. He scouted it a bit earlier. I much prefer this response, especially if you don't want to go for Stargate. So this is an absolutely fine thing to do. Went for core before Nexus once more, but that Nexus went down at a very reasonable time. Maru is actually just going to repeat the same build order. You know... Ooh... No, he's not. You see what he did different here? So I think he cancelled his first Marine temporarily to fit in a quicker CC, delay his factory a little bit. So this was not a gas surge. This was just a standard gas timing. You can throw down the reactor here. Interesting, very interesting. So a complete skip there on the Marine to get a faster CC up and running. I wonder if this CC is going to be capable of finishing before the Adept shows up as a result. This is still approximately hitting as hard. You're probably going to be hitting like 6, 7, maybe 8 seconds slower because of your initial factory timing delay. You're going to need a second gas with this as well, I believe. Yep, there we go. I think it's just going to be 4 Hellions this time around. If this CC doesn't finish, by the way, Maru is in a world of trouble. Actually in a world of trouble, because look how far away these Hellions are. What is that, like 20 seconds, 22 seconds from here? Oh, come on, this is the main focus. There we go. 1, 2. He's gonna get it. Oh, no. What's that, 71? Classic doesn't seem to realize how far away these Hellions still are. He should have definitely cleared this SCV. Now this SCV is going to finish the building. It's going to unsupply block Maru. Look at that. He would have been supply block at 31 out of 30, which would have meant a significant delay here. Or significant, at least somewhat of a delay here on those 2 Hellions. Now these 2 Hellions are going to come out. Classic is actually going to scout this. It's going to be slightly too late, but will be capable perhaps of clearing this SCV. Oh, come on. Kill that SCV. There you go. That's beautiful stuff, man. That's beautiful stuff. At the same time, these 2 Hellions are looking for something. Adept's going to shade back in. Any type of damage you can deal right now on those Hellions, I think is good. 1 probe for 1 shot, though, is not a great trade. So this is Adept, Stalker, Sentry. And I think what you want is a hallucination here to check. Okay, yeah, to see where those Hellions are going. You want to continuously check what the medevac is doing. As long as you can see where the medevac is going, you can temporarily full wall. Phenomenal stuff. Great defense here out of Classic. Really, really great defense. So this is a nice attempt here, Maru, but this doesn't work. Okay, we're not amateurs over here. He's going to try to fly in. Does not have the boost available now. He does going to boost towards the top side. Can he actually unload? Yes, he can. Ooh, Classic. Ooh, Classic. He's going to pull all the workers away. As we have a force field. Should have been targeting down that medevac instead of targeting down the Hellions. These units are getting stuck. Do we have energy recharge available? Yes, we do. Could have used it on the sentry there for energy recharge and then maybe some type of force field. 8 workers end up going down. That is still significant damage here that is being dealt. We have 2 extra Hellions that are still alive as well, and I don't think Classic is thinking of that. Classic is going to be moving across the map. He says, hey, I dealt with your first 4. No way you go for 5 and 6, but here come 5 and 6. This might just be it, actually. This might actually just be it. Oh, he just shot the Nexus there. That was a huge blunder. Could have gotten a big fat volley off. And this is a lot of indirect damage when it comes to the mining time lost. And it's a lot of direct damage because he kills like another 4 or 5 workers, which is 100% worth it. At the same time, we have the Stalker drive-by into the natural, and that's going to actually clear at least a couple of these SCVs. What do we see go down here? 6 workers going down already as the tank shows up as well. Good damage on that. Can we blink out? No, we really can't. 9 workers killed against 13. Worker counts are even. We have 2 gate versus triple barracks. And +1 already on the way. No 3rd base for the Protoss. This is not looking too great for a TOS player right now. This is actually looking really freaking poor for a TOS player right now. There's a couple of things where Classic, I think, did really mess up. That move out across the map after the initial clear, not keeping track of the medevac, and also not stopping these Hellions from going into the natural by using energy recharge on the sentry and force fielding this ramp. And then the initial target fire should have probably been on the medevac already, because it lowers the maneuverability of the Hellions. It makes your unit movement much easier. It makes your probe spool much easier. Do we have a tank in the main? Yes, we do. We have 2 tanks total. We have good enough SimCity. Not crazy good, but good enough. Don't think you can jump in here with low Stalker numbers and without a Prism. You're probably going to need like Prism plus, what, 12, 13 Stalkers to really go in here. And right now he has 7 Stalkers and no Prism. He's going to go for the Robo Bay and 3rd base. He's going to need a 4th gas as well. It's going to be freaking hard for him, let me tell you. It's going to be freaking hard. 2 more mines coming out as well. 3 gateways, 4 gateways, and charge. There's already 4 out. So it's going to go 8 gate into Colossus, similar to what we saw last game. But compare last game scenario with this game scenario, right? We're once again going into 5 racks for Maru, so it's actually not planning on building a 3rd CC. That gets scanned and gets killed, by the way. Like, last game the supply was 20 in favor of Classic, and he had a 4th base. This game, the supply is 20 in favor of Maru, and there's no, like, the 3rd base is barely done here for Classic. It's going to need to delay this move out by quite a bit. I love that he took down those rocks. You know, making it harder for Maru to take an alternative path. These Marauders are taking quite a bit of a beating. 1 Marauder goes down. Get a full blink back. 3 more Stalkers show up. Can we get a force field here? Yes, we could. Oh, that's a bad force field. No, that's a good force field. That was a really nice force field. Oh my god, he's doing an amazing job. Once again, Classic just abusing these map features in his favor. Now, the first Colossus isn't quite out yet. Thermal Lance isn't even on the way. Zealot count is increasing. Are we going to get an SCV pull? No, we won't. This is going to be a really close game. a really close fight. SCVs are coming out right now. That means he's going to have a one-punch push. Colossus in a bit of trouble in a very awkward location here. Needs to be careful against these tanks. We're going to get a blink in forward. One tank doesn't get insta-sniped. Okay, there it goes down. These guys go down as well. Another big Zealot Warp in moving in forward, as they mainly deal with the SCVs. I much would have preferred the Zealots going over here. That's not what they did. There's no battery to help out either, and that actually is going to be it. Look at that. This is a pure Marine army. Had that Colossus gotten 2 more swipes off, that would have actually been it. The Marauder count was non-existent anymore. Now, I mean, now it's also going to be it, but in favor of Maru. Maru with the +1 units, the triple medevac for decent sustain, and quite some SCVs to tank, should be capable of just moving in here and actually straight up killing his opponent. The control out of these Stalkers is good. The pro pool coming in as well. We have a Viking behind this, but all Colossi have died, so he can just land it. 3, 4 more Stalkers coming in, but I do believe that this is going to be it. Maru just barely manages to edge out the victory here against Classic in this 3-game best-of-3 series. As, wow. Man, Classic once again made it really close, but just barely not good enough. And yeah, Maru's gonna win it.